Hello, it's Mubbina Hashmi and welcome to my YouTube channel, Truth is Here. In this video I'm just briefly going to outline what I'm hoping to speak about in a forthcoming video in some depth. In this video I'm just going to briefly touch upon the same topic, and that is my marital status. I am in fact still Miss Mubbina Hashmi. I've never been married and I certainly have not been divorced. However, despite this, it would appear that the Royal Society and the GPHC, or the professional regulatory bodies for pharmacy, have been trying to force a marital status on me, and I'm going to tell you why they're doing that in a short while. But let me just first demonstrate to you that I am still single and have always been single. This is post from earlier on this year from Royal Mail. As you can see, don't concentrate too much on the details here, the dates. They've managed to kind of get those a little bit mixed up. But I am still Miss Mubbina Hashmi. It's also on my P45, as you can see there, from HM Revenue and Customs. And also in this letter as well, you can see, again, this is more recent, sorry. And it just confirms that I am still single. I have some other bank cards and other things that can just confirm that as well. Please just look at my NatWest card. It's M. Hashmi, as you can see. And my card from the Royal Society, my membership card here. They're aware of this. They're aware that I am actually single. So I'm neither a Ms., MS, or certainly not a Mrs. An Ms, allows you to wonder whether somebody is married or not married, but a Mrs. tells you quite clearly that they are married. I prefer Miss because it leaves you no doubt as to what my marital status is, and I'm very clear on that. I know I'm a Miss and I have always been a Miss, M-I-S-S. The fact that I've considered people for marriage in the past, through my family, etc., is really does not mean that I am married. And so I find it extremely offensive, extremely harmful that somebody's forcing this marital status on me of being married. Now, I've mentioned the Egyptian cleric in the past, who's inferred here in my medical notes, which I've already put out on the internet on the subject to do with Marital Shabini, may Allah have mercy on her, who was stabbed to death in the courtrooms of Germany. A 32-year-old pharmacist who's got exactly my details, an Egyptian woman. Here it tells of an Egyptian cleric who tried to use his position as a cleric to make false promises of marriage, as it says here. He's done this to many other women as well, one of whom was put in a mental hospital in Cambridge, a young woman who was studying at the university, and the story was exactly the same. He'd made some kind of promises with her to marry her and leave the country, which is extremely strange and very, very unusual, a very cultish and very, how shall I put it, a very exploiting thing to do for somebody who's posing as a religious figure. To use his position to advance in that way is very, very harmful, and I'm kind of understanding why he does it now. It's quite frightening why he does it, but I believe it's him, his closest, his wife, and a group of people who support his network. Right, so that's from the Guardian newspaper, Egyptian, the 32-year-old pharmacist who was stabbed to death, with all my details. I was already having to go to the South Yorkshire Police about how badly I was being treated. Marital Shabini, may God have mercy on her soul, was stabbed to death following a very racist attack in Dresden in Germany. And I was already being treated very badly in Barnsley, which is a very racist area in South Yorkshire, and so my case preceded hers, has all the ingredients of racism and discrimination. Excuse me. And so this is very interesting. Prior to that, I was working in Carmarthen in West Wales General Hospital, another quite a racist area, understandably, because it's a rural area in Wales where they don't have a significant number of people from ethnic backgrounds, and so you can expect that kind of thing to happen. Back in Carmarthen, I was the victim of very serious breach of the Caldecott principles, where my very private, confidential material was disseminated into the public, into the workforce within the pharmacy department and beyond. And I learnt of this directly through my interaction with staff at the hospital and also from people outside the hospital. And so it's not surprising. Let me just show you this. I've already put this on the internet. Leak of highly confidential information to the media. This again happened in Barnsley Hospital. This was in Barnsley. As you can see, this kind of thing does happen. It is not the sign of a delusion or a fragment of my imagination. As you can see, that is the media. This is the media. The Guardian newspaper is the media. Yes, it's all adding up, it's all making sense. I believe this Egyptian cleric and his wife wish to somehow get hold of the compensation that is due to me, following on from these very, very seriously damaging and harmful events that have taken place, not just in one NHS trust in Wales, but again in a second NHS trust in South Yorkshire. Barnsley Hospital National Health Service Foundation Trust have again repeated the same blunder that was acted upon by their predecessors in Wales. So of course that kind of harm should be addressed, and some form of compensation should be given. So I believe this Egyptian cleric is trying very hard to make out that he's married to me, and he's spread many rumours that we are married when he and I have very little to do with each other. And for 15 years I've never seen and spoken to him again, because I realised what he was really about, and that he was actually running a cult rather than a spiritual Sufi group, which he claimed to be heading. I realised this, as had other people, and I formed my own judgment and decided to politely excuse myself from his group and from himself, as it tells here. The GP's picked up on what I'm trying to say, and she's quite competently explained it in this referral letter. So I hope you realise I am not married. I have never been married, and I'm hoping to show you some evidence of an individual that I was considering for marriage, and the one individual in my life that I've actually gone out of my way to consider for marriage. And that will reveal all. When I show you that video, you will understand why this man and his wife are desperately trying to claim that they have a strong tie with me, against all the evidence and against all the facts. It's worth mentioning that I did not have extensive contact with this man, certainly not when compared with other females, or males even, who knew him. I have never accepted his invitations to go to his house and attend one of his religious gatherings, as he calls them. I have never ever gone overseas with him to Egypt, to Saudi Arabia, or to Yemen, or even Syria, the several countries to which he makes trips to. His actual disciples have visited all of those countries a number of times, and I am not a disciple, and as such I reserve the right to make my own judgment and use my own discernment as to whether I wish to attend or not attend. Moreover, my family, my parents especially, do not agree that I should be gallivanting around the world with this cleric in the disguise of some kind of a religious group. They just don't agree with it. I personally can't disagree with my parents, because their viewpoint is, it's reasonable and sound, so I don't push it, and I never have. And so that's why I've been fairly well protected, you could say. And so my interaction with this man has really been in public places, such as a mosque, a school, a summer school, a university campus, in my home with my parents, in his home with his family, and I've never, outside of that, I've never ventured out alone with him, and certainly not married him. So he needs to back off and stop claiming false claims. As you can see, it was a false promise of marriage, and thankfully that's all it was, and that's all it ever will be. And he should not be entertaining the notion of having any compensation that is due to me for the damages that I've had to endure for so long. I'll just leave you all on that note, and hopefully I will be giving further information on the subject in a forthcoming video on my YouTube channel, Truth is Here. Please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to join you again soon. Thank you.